Welcome back to Boys and Ghouls Film Review, guys. I'm your host, Sarah Stephenson. This is my co-host, Mike Stephenson.
Hi guys, we're back and I still got the flu.
So what's tonight are we reviewing, Mike?
We're doing a movie, Satanic Panic. It's a 2019, rather reasonably new for us. It's an American comedy horror film.
Quite. So this is probably one of our. Well, I wanted to do another comedy horror for you
We
folks.
like comedy horrors.
And
yeah.
I had this one on my mind for quite a while, so I thought it would be a good time to start our next episode with this one.
And here we go.
Yes.
Now, this one has been produced by Dallas Sonnier and Amanda Presmick, I think is the right pronunciation. Directed by Chelsea Stardust. Not sure about that last name. That's story by Grady Hendrix and Ted Gagan. I think it's the right pronunciation. Right pronunciation of Ted's last name. And the screenplay was by Grady Hendrix. And also, this film is a Fangoria production. Now, some people don't know who Fangoria is.
It's a magazine.
It's a magazine. They also dabbled in a bit of movie production as well. They had a little bit of trouble at different stages. They were really good for quite a few decades. And then they went a bit quiet. And I think they ceased publications about 4 years ago. And then...
They're still doing it,
No,
Mike.
I didn't let me finish. And then someone took over and got it going again. Yeah. So so they've been around for a few decades. They're into this sort of movies. I think pretty much comedy horror, slasher films, that sort of stuff. So so they helped with this production. So that's good. Well, what else can we say? I don't think this. I think it went for a limited run at the theatres, but pretty much went to DVD. Did it?
Yeah, quite.
Yeah. So that's why a lot of people probably don't know about it.
Yeah, it may have went independent theatre somewhere, and then I guess
limited release.
And then went directly to DVD or
Yeah.
DVD anyway. So who stars in it?
Well, lots of good groovy people, but I'm not going to mention all of them.
Shocker.
I'm going to mention two people,
Okay.
two ladies. Now, here's another one for a hard name for me to get my tongue around. Rebecca Romijn. It's Romijn. She plays Danica Ross. She's the leader of Witchcraft Coven, and she's a very attractive lady with a very interesting personality. Now, Hayley Griffith, she plays Samantha, Sam for short, Kraft. She's the pizza delivery girl who the movie is centered around. I won't go into all the other people because they're the two main ones.
Oh, there is pretty much an interesting character in this.
Okay, throw the interesting character
Jerry
in there.
O'Connell.
Oh, yeah, Jerry.
Who stars as...
Samuel Ross,
Yes.
Danica's husband.
And surprise, surprise, I found this out myself.
Aha.
And I found out that O'Connell is married to Rebecca in real life, too.
Really?
Yes, for realsy.
So Rebecca and Jerry, so she's using a maiden name or something. Well, there you go.
Well,
then.
this is stardom, and as stars, you don't usually necessarily change your name when you get married.
And by the way, Jerry O'Connell's been in quite a few movies, but one that I know of, and Sarah and I like, is Mockingbird Lane, which is a pilot movie for a TV series which didn't get off the ground.
Yeah.
But we thought the pilot was excellent.
Yeah, another one of the TV shows Jerry has been in, it was The Sliders, and that was during the 90s. It went on for a few seasons.
Yeah. So he's been around, but so got on Jerry. Anyway, do you want to take over talking about it? My voice is getting a bit croaky at the moment.
Yeah, so the story starts off with, it opens on a bit of a point of view shot scene with a person walking into a mansion, and she sees a couple of kiddies doing the you could say it, Mike.
I can't remember what were they doing. Playing cards.
No, they're
Kissing.
no.
Groping.
Yeah, probably.
Oh,
Anyway, it was sort of
petting.
this shot was sort of similar, based off the Halloween movie that was done in. Let me see, what was it done?
You're telling me a story.
It was done in. Let me see. Let me see. I'm thinking.
She's going through her notes, folks. Take a while.
Okay,
Yeah.
it was done in 1976, and
Ah.
when I first seen the scene,
You've seen the scene.
yeah, when I seen
you-
it
when you
for the
saw
first
it.
when I saw it the first time, I thought exactly at once Halloween night, that very movie, and this very movie confirmed that theory of mine.
That Halloween 1, 2, 3, 4. Which one was it?
Yeah,
Which one was it?
the first one.
Oh, the very first one. Yeah.
First one, dealing
The
with
first one,
a
yeah.
point of view shot of Michael Myers wandering through the house and seeing his sister doing in a room nude, and then he tries to kill her.
That's right. Yeah. You know,
This is not the only reference point I'll bring up in this movie, so moving on. So someone attacks them, and we don't see who it is, but we know it's someone they know.
Yes. Yes. We won't go into too much.
Then the
It'll
next-
all be revealed later.
Then the next scene we see a girl named Sam, or Samantha, Sam for
Let's
short.
call Sam. Yeah.
Yes.
Sam the pizza girl.
And she's trying to raise money so she can go to Australia.
Yes. Hey, we like it over here. Yeah.
Yes, and she's a bit of she does on the side busking, where she plays guitar and sings songs about Australia.
Hee-haw.
Yes.
That local aquarium, was it, or somewhere?
Yeah, like the local aquarium. Whatever.
She's busting out a local aquarium, and she's a pizza girl, and she's a really nice girl, but
Yeah.
very quiet and in her own
Yeah.
little way.
Anyway,
Yeah.
she mostly gives pizzas to the middle class or the
rich guys.
No,
And
well, not at first. She just does it for the middle classes or the lower middle classes, whoever, and she doesn't get too much of a tip often.
it was the first day at pizza delivery too, and she had a lousy day because no one gave her any tips.
Not too much. Not too very.
No,
enough.
a tip is don't live at Pizza This Guy anymore. Yeah, that's a big tip. You know.
Yeah, there was even a scene where she's delivering it to a frat house, and he says that as Sam,
His name's Sam and her name's
yeah,
Sam.
they ought to help each other out.
And then she had to help move furniture or something.
See, this sort of
Great.
plays a very key part to this movie, as often
Sam
as
look
I
after
bring
each
up.
other.
As I've often in the past mentioned to you guys, there's always a key part to the story. So this is one of them, and I won't tell you just yet why. So moving on, she then gets delivery to make into a very wealthy area, and hopefully she thinks this will give her a very big tip. Hopefully, but
Nope.
But as she arrives there, she sees this weird little girl wearing a white.
Pretty white dress.
Yeah, reminds me a little bit of Freddy Krueger's Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, when the
little
girls
kids.
skipping. Was it skipping?
Skipping,
Yeah, whatever.
playing jump rope. Yeah,
That sort of stuff. Yeah,
stuff
yeah,
like that makes me think.
Cute
of
little
that.
girl, about 12 years old, you say? Sorry.
I would say
12,
about
13,
12 or
something,
10 or whatever.
Around that, 12,
Roughly.
That's that 12, yeah.
So anyway, she arrives at the front door. She delivers the pizzas, and the guy doesn't bother to tip her. And when she tries to get on her little motor scooter, her scooter thing, it somehow has no petrol.
Now, that's one thing that bugs me. You load in a picture. Mm-hmm. She gets in the bike and drives off. Whoops.
So she ends up sneaking in the back entrance, or I guess the service entrance, whatever
Yeah,
you
to
call
try
it.
and see if she can score a tip out of somebody so she can buy some fuel.
Yeah. Then she hears weird voices chanting, yada yada.
We thought it was a Nutrimetrics group meeting or something.
Yeah, one of their chanting is taken from or referenced from
doing
the
some sort of
Excalibur movie that was released in
spell of making
1981,
that,
which is
what's that guy who played Merlin? What's his name?
I can't remember his name.
Something-
Sorry.
Yeah, he's doing that. The spell of making. You know.
Yeah, so this one of their chants is from that movie. So
Yeah.
that's one of the references I mentioned. So moving
They
on.
borrowed a few lines
Yeah.
here there.
As they're chanting, they go on about how they need a virgin to appease this demon in order to get what they want.
Yeah, the idea was they needed the virgin because they were trying to raise a demon called Baphomet, and they needed to have a virgin supernaturally impregnated to give birth to him. Is that right?
Exactly
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, I think that covers it.
Yeah. Yeah, and throughout this or these wealthy people's lives, they've sacrificed their own offspring in order to
Yeah.
please you know who.
Yeah, and then getting back to the beginning of the movie, that girl who was killed with her boyfriend, she was supposed to be a virgin,
But
but she knew what was going to happen to her, so she made sure she wasn't a virgin.
yeah, didn't help her very much, did it?
No, but all reveal a bit further on about her.
Yes. So anyway, the head witch or warlock,
Witch, it's
whatever.
called witch, the lady.
Okay. Complains to her people that they don't have a virgin and how they're going to please their lord and master.
Yeah.
Eventually, Sam appears and she demands her tip, and they look at her and
It's
think,
just quite funny. He says, "Oh no, I don't have any money on you. Oh yeah, and I raise a bit of money from peace deliveries and busking and blah blah." And straight away I said, "She's a virgin."
Yeah.
I thought it was rather humorous.
It is.
It sounded like
they grabbed her and they
Yeah.
and they knock her out. I don't know how.
well, they put her under somehow or other. Yes.
Yeah.
And then she wakes up in a room with this lady's husband, who's also waiting for one thing or another.
Yeah.
And he tells her that we're both going to die tonight.
Yeah.
You want a joint?
Yeah.
That's really good.
And along the lines, he tries to offer offers her help by offering her the chance to have sex with him, in order to get her not to be
Well,
sacrificed.
what he said to her he said he's going to be killed, and we're looking for a virgin. If you're a virgin, you're going to be killed because during a ritual. So the only way to save you and myself is if you're no longer a virgin. So he offered to pay a service to her by deflowering her. What a nice man.
Unlike Chastity Bites, she just does this buggers off. Eventually, his wife arrives and she sort of kills her husband by tearing out his heart.
Oh.
Not so very graphically.
Well, he was unconscious on the ground or half dazed, and she said, "Oh, my poor little husband." Then she put a hand inside him through a wound in his neck.
Oh yeah,
down to her elbow, pulling his heart out. That was a really good effect. That looked so good.
Yeah, and meanwhile, dear old Sam is running from
Running down the street.
running from rich house to rich house. She even runs into a girl named what's her name?
Judy.
Judy.
Judy's the one. Judy was the one who's.
Yeah, that's her.
No, Judy's not on the bed.
That's what I mean. That one. She meets her, and she's also knows a lot about what's going on, and she even tries to protect them by using a circle of salt around one of the houses.
Yeah, you didn't tell him since he was tied up on the bed.
I don't want to go into too much detail in this one because there is so much stuff here that is a little difficult to explain. And
well, some things are. But pretty much, as he goes to his house, there's a babysitter there, and upstairs, this Judy girl is being tied up, and I'm going to kill her because, for one reason or another. And,
one of them had a weird drill thing attached to her.
A drill dildo on her, and so they're going to take her out with that. And then she came running out with this dildo on, and the babysitter, who was, I think, her sister maybe, or a friend or whatever, and then they ran it. Sam got out of the way and she went straight through and got the babysitter, and they both died because the dildo went through the wall and hit your electrical cables.
As I said before,
it's really good.
This
Great
stuff
effect.
is
really
just
fun.
it's very weird and
it's really good
and hard to explain.
I really loved it.
Yeah. One of the reasons I didn't want to talk about it.
But it's relevant because you had to find out Judy came into it.
Yeah, but
she was a prisoner.
Again, we don't understand why they're doing this.
Yeah, but she was a prisoner. Yeah, she was.
Because Judy, as it turns out, it was the headmistress's daughter. Why would they be sexually assaulting her by doing this sort of thing?
Because she was no
I mean, if she does get
she lost her virginity.
No, she didn't.
Didn't she?
No, remember.
Oh, that's right. No, yeah. The other girl did. Yeah.
No, neither one of them did. Remember?
No, the other girl at the beginning of the movie did. Yeah,
anyway, moving on.
We're moving right along. Yeah.
So anyway, Jude and Sam they rush to another mansion, and she uses a circle of salt to throughout the entrances so no demons will enter. Of course, eventually, one of the demons does enter from the upstairs bathroom and tries to attack Sam.
Yeah.
Eventually, some of the witches who were getting sick and tired of their leader decide to break it in on their own, trying to get to Jude and Sam by hexing dear old Jude. So eventually, while she's in pain, Sam has to write all these spells on her skin to make sure that her body is going to not
as a shield
hurt.
against the hexing.
Yeah. Another reference point from Conan the Barbarian, where they had to write the hexes all over his body so that he would not be taken away by demons.
Yeah, that's right. The little Chinese guy, what's Massachusetts, wrote all those things over him.
Yeah, it was not mentioned when I was looking it up, but it got me thinking that.
Excuse me, guys.
Yes, so this
I
is
got the flu.
this is what I was thinking at the time. So anyway, it worked, and eventually Sam tries to calm Jude by telling her life story about how she was not a virgin and how her boyfriend, who was from Australia, upped and left her, even though she chickened out on having what.
Yeah.
And he stuck with her during her time when she was going through leukemia, I think it was.
I think so. Something nasty,
Yeah, cancer stuff.
Yeah, I think it was some sort of cancer treatment.
Yeah, cancer treatments and all that stuff. It was.
He stayed there, but then he buggered off, and
Yeah.
they didn't have time to consummate their relationship.
Yeah. So anyway, she then eventually they head off, and eventually on the way out, Jude tries to phone her mum and tell her that she wants back in, and she is she's willing to negotiate whatever.
Isn't that lovely?
Eventually, this doesn't. Eventually, as they're walking through the woods, some weird tree-like monsters, which makes me think of Wizard of Oz, start attacking them.
Yeah.
Eventually, they do fight them off, and they do soon face Jude's mum, who wants to. She tries to get Jude to give in. Jude tries to fight her off but somehow her mum has something that prevents her from fighting back. And the same could go for Sam, because Sam's shirt, that's a Pete's Delivery shirt, I should mention, she has a bit of it, so she sort of jinxed it from preventing Sam from harming her.
Ah.
Eventually, the girls get passed out and are placed on the altar and wearing these weird, sexy outfits. And all
Look pretty good, yeah.
Yeah, something that's made of leather and, very
Anyway,
revealing.
they were going to get impregnated.
Well, one of them is. I'm not sure about the other one.
Well, it has spare.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, anyway.
Anyway.
Eventually, the girls, Jude's mum, then approaches one of the girls who betrayed her, the ladies, and tell her that she punishes her, of course.
Yeah, that gypsy. And then she made her drown while she's standing there in front of her.
Yeah, drowning
That's
her.
not bad.
And eventually, she passes out. And while they were making a circle of salt around their little thing,
she broke the circle of salt.
See, the circle of salt kind of protects them from any other demons or other spells.
Anyone wants to sneak in.
Yes, anything that's sneaking in will be.
Guess what?
Yeah.
The plot does thicken, folks.
Yeah. So eventually, they begin to chant. It starts stripping off and start chanting. And eventually, Sam's belly starts to swell and get bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
And eventually, later on, Jude gets killed by her own mother. And while Sam is in shock, she starts getting into labor, obviously.
And then she
starts chanting to herself, two little white bunnies.
Two fluffy bunnies or something.
Two fluffy bunnies. Yeah. And as she's giving birth to...
No, two fuzzy bunnies, I think it was.
Two fuzzy bunnies. Yeah. And as she's giving birth to, it's a bit of a surprise, because it turned out to be two white rabbits.
She had two white rabbits come out instead of the demon. Now, just stopping for a minute, do you remember in The Good Witch?
Yes.
She used two fluffy bunnies for when the girl had trouble sleeping to keep the monsters away.
Yeah, she kept telling her,
This is two fluffy bunnies.
No, she says, will not dream of
Fluffy.
bunnies.
Oh, yeah. It's
Anyway.
Bunnies are so soft and gentle.
Yeah, and...
Anyway.
And anyway, while this is very cute now, the other members of the witch cult are so angry at the leader that one of them springs up and tries to stab the head witch. But then, Sam somehow wakes up like it was all a dream, and she's out in the backyard, and everyone's not there.
Yeah, no one's there.
And the only one is there is a little girl in that white gown.
Dress. And it's dark at night now.
Yeah, and little two white rabbits are still there, and this little girl tells her that she's a demon
Called Samizel.
and she's a lot powerful than not powerful. It's just
no, she's supposed to be more powerful than Baphomet.
Yeah. So, and she says that she's gonna kill off the cult members and Sam, but Sam uses the helping Sam analogy we used before for this situation.
So, it's a Sam thing.
Yes, and she says, you made that up. And she says, are you willing to take that chance? And Sam and the demon thinks about this, and she says, very well. And she says, run, while she's biting into the head of one of the rabbits.
Killed the other rabbit. And
while this is happening, we get back to the present and we watch all the cult members slowly dying and coughing and wheezing.
Yeah.
And she grabs up the other bunny rabbit that was remaining and runs to her little motorcycle.
Scooter, yeah.
And eventually, she finally gets started, and she was able to pull out of the driveway.
Considering it was out of fuel at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah. I think that was all part of the witch's plan.
Or maybe the witches did it. Maybe, who knows? Yeah.
Yes, so
we didn't know.
Yeah, but I like to think that the little demon, the girl demon, had a plan for her, obviously, and to bring down those cult guys.
Yeah.
I don't know the whole story. Anyway, so she arrives back at the pizza parlor, and then she gets she tells her boss off and says, "I'm off to Australia." And so she takes the little rabbit she names Jude Jr.
And
heads off on her motorcycle into the sunset. The end.
It might sound like it's a comedy horror, honestly, and it's really hard to convey the comedy side of it when you're talking about it. But I thought it was really funny.
I thought it was interesting.
Tongue-in-cheek stuff. I mean, like any good comedy horror. Good storyline, good acting. It felt really good,
Agreed.
Yeah, and then when people got killed, well, when the right people got killed, it said, yay!
Yeah. I gotta admit, the whole pizza thing makes me think of this other movie a friend of mine made that was sort of, he's Australian, just so you know.
Pizza Wars?
Yeah. Pizza Wars, where it deals with a pizza delivery man and he fights these ninjas and in a interesting martial art kind of way.
Is that on the internet?
I think so. Maybe.
That's
it's
really fun.
pretty awesome, and I highly recommend it to you guys.
Yeah.
If you didn't hear me the first time, I said I highly recommend it.
Yeah, I saw that film festival, not film festival.
Yeah, it was a film festival.
Yeah, it was a film festival. Yeah, it was great. Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, it was a good independent amateur, newbie sort of stuff.
I think he won that day. I mean,
it was a really fun, well done movie.
I agree.
Short, short feature. Yeah. Anyway, what can we say about this movie?
Good question.
Not too much to say about it, actually. It is what it is.
True.
All I can say is that it's really interesting. I mean, I get impressed by people who actually can put it together the whole lot. Because the guy, Grady Hendrix, well, he sort of wrote the story and did the screenplay. So, and that sort of... he made a good. He could transfer the storyline into a believable script quite easily, which it goes to show in the production. The whole lot came together nicely.
Oh, Mike, just so you know, it was filmed on location in Dallas over
Dallas, Texas,
the course of 18 days.
Yeah.
Didn't really. It wasn't a long film shoot, obviously.
Well, yeah, it depends. I mean, if you get a lot of footage per day, I mean, I don't mean ridiculous amounts. If you get say 5 minutes footage a day or something or other, and you do 5 days, well, that's 25 minutes of film footage.
Yeah, well, bear in mind,
yeah,
Mike,
yeah.
apart from the nighttime shots, which was probably a lot of nighttime shots in it, the only day shots that they had, took place at the pizza parlor or a few.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, and that could be taken. All those daytime shots could be done in one day, and everything else done at night, and they could have just doubled up and tripled up and whatever. And like
Or even or just did them all night.
5 to 10 minutes a day, you knock it off real easy. Depending how organised the DAPs were and
Or
the
how
actors
many,
and
or
everything.
how many reshoots you have to reshoot.
Yeah, and there were a few things there that you could do, like there were a lot of one-on-ones of the girls, and then you had the group ones of the coven and stuff. So you would you do all the coven shots together on 1 or 2 nights or 3 nights or 4 nights or whatever, and then do the other one-on-ones and that sort of stuff on other nights. So if you organise it properly, you can get it done real easy.
Yeah, there was a thought that they were going to get Jude to do the opening bit, but I think she was unavailable that day, so they allowed another actress who was unwilling to do the sex scene at first, but they eventually asked her to do it anyway.
Why not? Well, it's one of the
I
other
guess
kiddies.
it's not something to go chanting your arm at.
Yeah, well, excuse me again, I got a cough.
I think a lot of people I've heard
Yeah.
about say that they don't really enjoy doing sex scenes because it's mostly pretending to be jumping up and down, and it's not exactly.
Well,
and pretending that you're screaming.
The point is, I'm not a prude, don't get me wrong, but I don't agree that sex scenes should be just thrown in a movie to pad it out. However, in this movie, I mean, the sex scene at the beginning was sort of relative because that girl's losing her virginity, and they needed the virgin. So someone had to lose her virginity at the beginning of the movie. So the sex scene was relevant.
Yes, throughout the movie.
So someone had to do it.
Yeah, throughout the movie, there was hints that indicated that this cult they endlessly sacrifice their own children to it.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind doing that one day.
No.
Oh, I'm not doing it.
They're very nasty.
I'm only joking. Yeah. Anyway, look, there's not a lot of information we throw there. I can't find too much on it. So
there's only
sketchy bits.
Sketchy bits, and it's not a it's just like it is a magazine place, and they probably are just not there's not very much information to share, to be honest.
And like I said, what didn't go to the theatres. Not a lot of production details I can throw at you.
Yeah. Whether or not there's any reviews about it.
I would say though,
Were there any reviews about it?
Wasn't too much, but generally mediocre to good. I think Rotten Tomatoes had it better than 62%. Well, not too bad for them. And it says, it isn't terribly devilish or particularly pulse-quickening, but Satanic Panic remains an entertaining midnight movie that forgiving genre enthusiasts will enjoy. So, they're pretty much saying, you can watch it. If you're not looking for anything with too much substance in it, it's a good, fun watch.
It is fun, and not comparing Stripes or Spots, but I do think Chastity Bites is a lot more interesting and cooler.
Yeah, well, that's another black comedy, horror, or whatever.
We already reviewed that last
well, actually,
year.
Chastity Bites, I did like that one because I'm not saying it's better or worse than this one, but I did like Chastity Bites because the girl who played the lead role, I don't remember, I think she had a Spanish name, I can't remember now. She was great, she really carried it, and the girl in this movie, I think she did pretty good too.
She's pretty too.
Yeah, she did.
And I'm
did a good job.
I'm a little surprised that in her character that she was a virgin. I mean, she's pretty, very pretty, and I'm a little surprised that she didn't. Well,
you're talking about riding the baloney pony or something, are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, both the all the girls in this production were generally pretty looking and eye candy.
Well, actually, the one I liked the most was the lead of the Coven. She was really hot. What's her name again? Rebecca, whatever her last name is. Rominge, whatever. She's a very attractive lady. And when she's there in that red gown she had on, she looked hot. And I'm sorry. I mean, I'm not I'm not being rude, nasty, horrible, deviant, whatever. But yeah, I keep talking to Sarah about eye candy for movies. And yeah, she was a very beautiful lady. And the girl, Haley is a very attractive girl. And all the other girls they chose for
Yeah.
a reason attractive. So,
Yeah, I certainly
it's
like
good,
the
yeah.
locations they shot this. I mean, a lot of times I've. Are you done?
I'm coughing the best I can. Ah.
Anyway, so most of the time when they ever do a film location, they try to pour on the gore or pour on the creeps. I mean, the
Yes.
moment you step foot into a location, it's creepy. But if it's sort of a natural location, you think nothing will ever bad will happen here. It does give you the impression, oh, this nothing will happen here. But then then the mood changes,
Yeah.
and then you start thinking, oh, there's something
Now,
twisted here.
it's interesting you said that. I mean, when you do a haunted house movie, the atmos is all going to be, oh, it's creepy, horrible. It's got cobwebs, it's got spiders, and yeah.
Yeah.
And you got the atmos already. But when you got you're expecting something to happen. But when you got a nice, clean-looking place, and innocent-looking, and the lights are on, everything looks
Yeah.
natural, and then something comes out, you got your first jump scare, you can almost wet your pants.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, with every latest movie these days, whether it's a nut house, whether it's a church, whether it's a just
Someone's house.
just a hospital of
Yeah.
sorts, they always pour on the gore. They never think maybe you should make it look more natural. Make it
Yeah.
I mean, as I often say, if it's a natural look, it will take the audience by surprise.
It's sort of like dark and light in a movie.
Yeah.
Your light bits, la 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 la, and all of a sudden a jump scare. It's like in Psycho. You look at it starts off, looks like an ordinary drama. Lady's having sex in the building of her boyfriend. Then she steals some money. Yeah. She goes to the motel. Yeah, goes to shower. And then some maniac comes there and stabs the crap out of her. It did not expect the stabbing scene. So it's light going into grey and also it goes straight into black when the evil stuff started. And
Yeah.
that's what's really good. And then it jumps back up to normal again.
Yeah.
And so you need the light and dark.
Yeah, it seems that throughout the movies, like, I've seen a lot of movies that deal with a lot of, I've even, just a while ago, I was just watching, that new version of Patrick, I mentioned to Mike today, and they made, the new version of it, they made it too very dark. They made the hospital so dark and dingy,
yeah.
like it was abandoned, not
Yes,
and
it's
stuff.
wrong atmosphere.
And
It's supposed to be
while
hospital.
in the past one that was done in 1960, the atmosphere was calm, cool,
Like an ordinary
like an
hospital.
ordinary hospital.
As one would expect.
Both
Yes,
movies were done in Australia, so you know.
But the first movie was clean, neat, but the scary part was this guy in a coma and how it's affecting the people around him. And then when it affected the people around him, it became more intense.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Nice,
Yeah.
comfortable environment, and then it slowly develops.
shit happens.
I just don't understand why so many filmmakers think you must keep it very intense, make the place completely creepy the moment you just step foot into it. Even though most hospitals I've gone to do not have that look. They often look clean, nice, and
Unless, like you said, it's the abandoned hospital and you got the ghost adventures in there or something, you know?
yeah.
I don't know, yeah.
I just don't understand
Weird.
it. Don't they ever step foot into an actual hospital lately? I mean,
Well, I've been there a couple
even
of
if
times.
it's a private institutes, they keep it clean. They keep it
Neat,
tidy.
no cobwebs.
No
The
cobwebs.
lights are not flickering.
Yeah, nothing, no dirt on the walls. They keep the place clean.
Well, it depends what company you're in. No, yeah.
Oh well.
We've got the Middle East, they've probably got dust on the floor and dirt and I know you're joking about the Middle East, folks.
I think they keep their hospitals clean as much as possible
Well,
too.
you remember we went to Cairo. We went to Egypt. We got the Cairo airport. That was one of the filthiest airports I've ever been in. It was dirt on the floor and crap and everything. It looked like it hadn't been cleaned for ages. But then you got to think about it. It's on a desert. And all stuff probably just blows in all the time. So how do you keep on top of it? But yeah.
Anyway, the point is,
anyway.
Mike, that they just don't realize. I mean, the movies they do now, they keep making the hospitals, any place any horror related thing. Sorry, even when they did Child's Play, I mean not Child's Play, Annabelle the doll. They made the doll look completely creepy looking the moment you saw it.
Yeah.
And my instincts up here tell me, who in their right mind would want a doll that's creepy looking?
And buy it for the kitty.
And bear in mind, the original doll was just an ordinary Raggedy Ann doll.
That's right. Yeah.
Like that type of doll. Nothing sinister.
Well,
nothing
Chucky.
creepy.
He was an ordinary cloth doll, wasn't he?
Yeah, slightly.
No, he was an ordinary cloth doll. Yeah, but he got in. Yeah, he got taken over by spirit.
Yeah, so I'm just saying, guys, it's not always necessary to make it completely gory.
It's dark, it's sinister all the time.
I mean,
You can have sinister
it's
bits
not
brought
very
in, yeah.
believable if you just get a horrible looking doll that looks so creepy that you wouldn't buy it for your own child. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a few little problems, but that's okay.
Yeah, they do make too many problems with those movies. I mean, the moment I saw it in Annabelle, I thought, there's no way I would probably buy that doll for my kid.
Actually, yeah, it's supposed to be a real doll. That
It is. I mean, the real doll
Those
was.
people, what's that people who did the ghost? Not the spiritualist people. A man, lady.
Yeah, I don't know. They remember the names.
And then they did
But
their.
I know for a fact the doll looked like a natural, normal, nice doll, and you wouldn't think there's anything wrong with that doll in the first place.
Yeah, I wouldn't touch it. Ew. I don't play with dolls anyway.
But that's the point, Mike. I mean, the whole point is the doll has to look like
A normal
doll. You not think twice if there's anything sinister about it until it catches up on you. It's just that
I'm going to eat your heart.
That's very nice, you know.
It's just that these days they keep making the whole places, props very creepy, but they never think maybe we should just keep it looking innocent looking.
Yeah, innocent. Innocent. That's really interesting. Look, you look at The Good Son.
Yes, that's another
Macaulay
example.
Culkin. A nice looking cute little boy here. There's a real
Terror.
And he was a nice little piece.
And while
but he looked like a nice little piece. He didn't have tattoos all over him. He didn't have face jewelry.
Meanwhile, the other kid had a few minor personal problems, and everyone suspected maybe he might be
but it was
crazy.
The nice, good little boy. He was the naughty one. There was a movie called The Lord of the Flies years ago.
Good point.
And all these kids were either on a boat or an aeroplane or something, and they got stranded on an island, and all the adults were killed. And these kids went feral. The ones who went worst were the nice little boys who were, I think, things like they were altar boys or in the Christian choir, and they're the ones who you think would be the nice guys. And they're the ones who went bent and started killing people and raping and doing stuff to them, beating them up and killing them. And they went really weird. The ones you least expect, the innocents. And when the innocent ones turn on you and kill you and stuff, interesting, isn't it?
Was there any bad ones who turned good?
No. Well, that whole point is that was the story. These guys went bad. And then when a rescue boat came, they went back to normal ways again. And the naughty guys got dressed up in their choir boy uniforms or their altar boy gowns or whatever, and acted like nothing had happened.
Weird.
Yeah, okay, really weird. Yeah, so something evil from something that looks so innocent is really good.
Yeah, guys, if you guys never heard of Lord of the Flies and you're interested in filmmaking, I advise definitely read the book, okay?
Have you read the book?
Not yet, but I might give it a try.
Yeah, it's a good book and
But
it was a good movie.
It is a good
Mock is still
example
available.
of showing sweet and innocent, but at the same time hiding a dirty cigarette.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so it's good advice to you guys.
Yes, kitties. No, I won't go there.
But
I
you
won't
gotta
do a
admit,
crypt
Dad,
keeper.
when you
Yeah.
look, I mean, when you look at this movie, when you go into the mansion that she goes to, and she thinks nothing bad will happen
Yeah,
here,
nice,
and
nice
till
place.
she goes inside, and there she encounters the whole cult thing, and then that's where things start diving into things, and
Oops.
and all the time thought at the beginning nothing bad will happen when I'm working as a pizza person.
Exactly. What can happen? No tip. Or get killed by somebody. Have some bunnies.
Yeah, I'm still wondering about that bunny part.
Yeah, I'm wondering about that too. Yeah, that's.
I'm wondering if when she does ever do it with a guy, will she still
have
have...
more bunnies?
Yes.
And will she be limited to two? You normally have a litter.
Yeah, true.
No.
I kind of admit it was kind of cute when she says, two fluffy bunnies, you know.
And she got two fluffy bunnies.
Yeah, because that was her way of calming down during tense moments.
And she got her wish.
Yeah.
No demon. We got two fluffy bunnies. Now I was wondering about that. These two cute, fluffy white bunnies came out. No afterbirth on them. They should have been putrid. They should have been covered in blood and stuff. But no, they were clean.
And they were grown-up rabbits.
Yeah, they weren't little bunnies. They were full grown, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, they're supposed to be babies. I mean, considering that they get born.
Well, it's also supposed to be, it's a 9 months pregnancy too, which happened in 30 seconds.
Good point.
Well, you know.
I guess that's a good point.
Yeah, and yet, you know the best part about a pair of rabbits is?
What?
If you give them to somebody as a gift, it's a gift that just keeps on giving. What? You were breeding like rabbits? Okay, right, okay. Okay, my humour's pretty bad today.
So, do you want to rate this one now? Or
Look,
do you...
I'm going to... I'm having I can't find anything majorly wrong with it. I think it's a good movie. Maybe only thing, a couple of attention to detail, like the bunny should have been a bit dirtier, and a few things like that. So
maybe that's why they didn't want to be too dirty.
Or maybe they want to do it too.
Because this is
gross.
still a comedy horror, and they didn't want to gross out the audience.
Well, yeah, they might want to keep it a little bit, keep the goriness away.
Because technically, I don't want to see blood on a bunny. It grosses me out.
Well, no, yeah, yeah.
Whether it's dry blood or wet blood, I don't want to see it.
Yeah, well, you got a scruffy bunny instead of a fluffy bunny? No? Okay. Okay, I'll give it a 9.
Anyway, we're dealing with a sort of, supernatural birth
Anything's possible.
Yeah. Anyway, doesn't really
I'll give you a 9. I've already voted.
Okay, my
What's yours?
turn. I'm going to say, I think 9. Just 9 out of 10.
There you go.
Because there were moments I didn't really... I wasn't too, again, gripped by the story too much most of the time.
Yeah, one or two bits were lacking, but yeah.
Again, I just think that there was something lacking in this movie. I just don't know what.
You mean a bit more energy.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't mind if there was more chasing, more, and more fighting against other cult members.
A bit more action in it, maybe.
Maybe fighting against more cult members, more demons. Would be cool.
Instead of
Oh, what are we going to do next? I don't know. What do you want to do? What are we going to do so and so?
no, it was a bit tame in that part of it. Yeah.
Yeah, tongue in cheek, whatever. Or not tongue in cheek.
Well,
just
I know. Yeah. It was just it could have been a little bit more dynamic, but yeah. Look, it's a good watch.
I'm not gonna.
Fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say that you
But
guys
it's
should definitely not watch it.
No, I reckon it's a good watch. Yeah, yeah. And it's available on eBay as a purchase, and Amazon as a rent or a purchase. So so obviously, if they've got it, other places have got it too. So or your local media store might have it. Yeah, pick up a DVD from your local supplier, retailer. Yeah. Anyway, before I croak, I'm gonna sign off. So do you want to do your business?
Yes. So this is Sarah Stephenson
And Michael.
saying we'll see you guys for the next one.
Bye guys.